All right, so today we will be exploring the world of solving linear inequalities. And on the screen, I have I have an equation and I have an inequality. And as you can see, the only difference between an equation and an inequality, well, one of the difference in terms of the physical appearance, is that in an equation, there is the equal sign. And in an inequality, we have an inequality sign. And this sign can either be less than, more than, less than or equal to, more than or equal to. And the rules for solving linear inequalities are basically the same as solving an equation except for one instance, and I will show you that instance in an example. And the different another difference is that with the equation, when you solve an equation, you get one solution. If you solve this equation, you will get x equal, this would be 5. This is one solution. But the inequality, it gives you a range of solution. We can either represent this solution on a number line or we can represent it on a graph. Anyway, so let's solve this linear inequality. We have x plus 2 is more than or equal to 7. So just like in the equation, this will be x, will be more than or equal to. This 2 is adding, so we take it over the inequality sign to do the opposite, which is subtract. This will be 7 subtract 2. So x will be more than or equal to 5. And if you want to represent this solution, we can draw a number line. And let's say this is 0. And let's call this 5. Let's call this negative 5, just representing a range of solution. And we can put a solid line to say that this is where it starts from 5 and it is more than or equal to 5. So this is 6, 7. So it will go in this direction. And that is how you represent the solution for this inequality on a number line. The line has to be solid, and if this was, let's say this was x is less than 5 and it did not have the equal sign at the bottom here, in that case, the line here, this would not be solid. You draw a line like this and you will go in that direction. Anyway, so let me move on to another example. Another simple example. We have 3 open bracket 2x minus 1 is more than 6. And to solve this, we can either go a long way and distribute this 3, but we don't have to do that. We see that this 3 is multiplying everything. So we take it over the inequality sign. We'll divide. This will be 2x minus 1 is more than 6. And this 3 will have to divide there. And this will now be 2x minus 1 is more than 3 divided 6 divided by 3. That will be 2. And then we continue solving. We take over this 1, so this will be 2x, this 1 is subtracting, so we take it over, it will add, so this will be 2 plus 1 will be 3. And x will be more than 3, this 2 is multiplying, so we take it over, it will divide, 3 divided by 2, and we can leave that equation just like, inequality just like that. And to represent that on a number line, now let's call this 0, and let's call this, let's call this 1. Let's call this 2. Let's call this negative 1, negative 2. So to represent that now, let's call this 3. That would be 3 over 2. That is the same as 1.5. So this is 1. So this will be the thing over here. So we put, because of this less than, this more than sign, sorry, we draw a line. You don't ensure that it's not solid. And then we go to the, it's more than, so it will have to go in this direction. And that is how you represent the solution for that inequality. And the final example now is the one that I was talking about, the exception as it relates to inequality. Now let's go ahead and solve this. So first of all, we take over this 5. You see this is a plus 5 here. So then we take it over, it will become, subtract this with 20, subtract 5. And this will now be negative 3y is less than 20 subtract 5 will be 15. And then here we have a negative sign and it's multiplying the y. So we take it over, it will divide. So we now have y. Now, but the thing is, when we have to take over a negative sign over the inequality to either divide or multiply, we have to switch around this sign. So if this was a less than sign, we have to switch it around to a more than sign to make the inequality true. Because if we leave it just like that, the inequality will not be true. So we now have 15 divided by negative 3. And y will be more than negative 15 divided by 3. That will be a negative 5. And that is the answer for that inequality. We know how to represent it on a number line. Let me just do that quickly. Let's call this 0. Let's call this 5. Negative 5, sorry, and this will be 5. So because this is a negative, we don't have any equal sign at the bottom. Is just, sorry what I'm saying. Now because this is a more than, we don't have any equal at the bottom here. So it's just more than. So we draw the open circle, don't color it. And since it's more than negative 5, we go in that direction. And that is how you represent the solution to that inequality.